What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the 2025 Lincoln Nautilus. This one is the black label, finished off in Silver Radiance with an MSRP at $78,600. Big shout out to Randy, Mary, and Lincoln of Statesville for providing this luxury SUV for today's video. Check out their website, linked down below. Underneath the hood of the 2025 Lincoln Nautilus black label, you're going to find a 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. This makes 250 horsepower with 275 pound-feet of torque. It's also paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and it is an all-wheel drive vehicle. With that, curb weight is around 4,300 pounds. It runs on a 20-gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 21 miles per gallon in the city with 29 out on the highway, and max towing capacity is 1,750 pounds. The overall length is 193.2 inches with a wheelbase at 114.2. Width is 79.8 and height is 68.2 inches. Moving on to the exterior styling with the 2025 Lincoln Nautilus, this definitely has a really nice design. It is super classy looking, certainly has a luxury vibe. You're gonna get a really nice design on these LED headlights, and I like how this running light cuts right into the grille, has a really cool look. You're also going to get the Lincoln badge right in the center, and you can tell how that is going to be illuminated along with that entire trim piece for that light. You have a gloss black forward grille, really nice design for the mesh. You can see all of your parking sensors as well, cutouts on the far side to provide some airflow, and then more of this gloss black mesh in the lower portion with a safety sensor. Got a really sleek design up in front, giving it a modern and classy appearance, and then just some nice sleek body lines throughout the hood, fading to the windshield, just to continue with this elegant design. For the side, you're going to get body colored fender flares and a really nice set of 22-inch wheels with a two-tone color, kind of like a blade design, really fancy looking. You have Nautilus written out on this trim piece in the door, and then just some nice sleek bodywork for the whole side profile. You're going to see gloss black on the mirror cast with an integrated turn signal and camera, and I like how the door handles are actually integrated into the belt line for the window trim. You can see a chrome trim piece up above with this two-tone design with the gloss black roof. You have a panoramic sunroof up on top as well. And then for the side profile, very clean and classy, nice design with the two-tone. Definitely has a really good style. At the side, you're going to see more sharp body lines cutting into the rear. And then I love this massive LED taillight. You can see the Lincoln name is written out inside of the actual light itself. Then we have some gloss black up above with your third brake light and an integrated spoiler. There's also more silver trim throughout the lower bumper with all of your parking sensors and just a little bit of plastic trim. And then it all ties together to give the back end a classy appearance. I think overall this new Nautilus really fits the description very well. Taking a look at the key fob, you're going to get lock, unlock, remote start, and the power liftgate. If I go ahead and lock the vehicle, you will get the power folding side mirrors, and then all you have to do is grab the handle, grab it, and it will automatically unlock. You are going to get the remote keypad integrated into that B pillar. And then for the interior, this one has the chateau leather seats. This is a gorgeous place to be for sure, looking very nice and fancy. On the door panel, you're gonna have this soft touch material up above, then some nice piano black. You can also see one of these speakers right here with the nice mesh design, memory seating, all those controls down below. Your release handle is integrated, and we have our grab handle, nice padded armrest, and then a massive speaker mesh down here. You're going to see Lincoln on the door sill, and then all of your power controls for the seats finish in a nice aluminum color. And then along these seats, we have all sorts of really nice materials, cool different types of maneuverability to these seats. And then I love the perforations throughout the center and just a really unique style for the entire backrest up to the headrest. And then for the steering wheel, it has somewhat of a yoke style, very oval shape. We got the Lincoln badge right in the center, and then a nice two-tone color. And then now inside the new Lincoln Nautilus, keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. We have the center screen and then the massive screen for the entire dashboard. Now as far as some of the controls on the seat, you can grab the two individual buttons and actually independently adjust your two different leg rests. So this is a really cool design just with all the maneuverability. For the steering wheel, once again, you have the really nice two-tone material. I like the chrome trim. These buttons are pretty unique. You don't really see anything on them. However, up on this upper screen, you can take a look and you're gonna see how this one kind of configures where I tap my finger. So they're kind of a haptic feedback, sensitive design. Basically, as I move my finger around, that's going to maneuver. And then over on the other side, same sort of deal, depending on where I put my finger, that is what it's going to do. So it basically follows you around. You're gonna get a sensor right in the center, control on the left side for the turn signal, and then we have all of our windshield wipers over on the right side. I do like the leather material on the center airbag cover as well. And then down below, we're gonna get interior lighting. You also have your headlight controls, power liftgate as well, electronic parking brake, more of this nice light leather, some wood trim, and then a more brown color. On the upper screen, you're gonna get your fuel on the left side. You can see some more information in the center, like your speedometer. We have our gear indicator over here with engine temperature, a few more designs, and then we have radio and information that's gonna pop up, and then a clock on the farthest side, and it all integrates into the trim in the doors, which actually looks like it has some illumination. So really, really cool design how this is lighting up too. For the center screen, this is a bit more normal as you would expect on any car. We have Google Maps, we have the radio information. We can toggle this over here and you're gonna get a few different settings that are gonna pop up. You're able to adjust. We also have this icon with all sorts of different apps within the car, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and then you can continue toggling, see a few more things of information. And as I adjust things, they pop up on the screen over here. So pretty cool to see that. If we just swipe it, you're gonna get trim information now in that screen. So really cool just to see kind of how you can mix and match that upper screen just to give you a really nice 360 view. That is really, really cool. Now, if I go ahead, go into reverse, you're gonna get some parking sensors down below, and then the backup camera pops up in the center up above with your top-down view, and then you can configure a few different menus. You can see that, and then configure into here. That changed everything as well. If I go into drive, we can exit out, and then going back into park as well. Below on the screen, we're gonna get all the climate control settings. I can easily adjust the temperature. We have the heated and ventilated seating along with the steering wheel control. Fan speed right here. We have the different zones that'll pop up that you're able to adjust the whole menu. And then a few more icons all on the far right. You have two air vents down below. Those drive select. And then we have a lot of different toggles down below with some of this wood trim. We have a volume icon in a nice crystal clear design, your defrost, shortcut to cameras, and then our drive mode. You can toggle this. It's gonna pop up on the screen with everything. And then you can just use the touch screen to continue scrolling left and right. So pretty cool to see all of that. We have parking camera over on the left side, and then this nice smooth material throughout the center with more of the light leather. If you pull this back, we have a wireless phone charging pad, some cup holders, extra storage, as well as some USBs, and then more of the light color for the center armrest, and then quite a lot of storage space all inside. Glove box on the far right side, pretty large as expected. And then one last look at the interior. This is really fancy looking, honestly. It feels pretty cool to be in this new Lincoln Nautilus. We have a frameless mirror up above, all of our controls for the dome lights as well as the panoramic roof. We have a sunglass holder, there are garage door buttons, and then this really nice micro suede material for the entire roof. And you can see this massive sunshade going all the way to the back with a full panoramic roof. Moving on to the rear seat space, I can just grab the door handle once again, pop it open. You're gonna get a very similar interior back here. You have that nice brown color along with this lighter leather, all of your different speakers with the nice mesh release handle, and then the really cool kind of ambient lit section. For these seats, once again, really gorgeous materials. I love the piping, all the contrast, and then the perforations are really, really nice back here. This can seat 3 people. You can pull this one down. You're gonna get a nice armrest along with some cup holders in the front. And then up above, you are gonna get heated seats along with climate vents. There's storage on this back side, some nice trim with different USB ports. And then for the seats themselves, they have the recline function down below. You can pull this lever and fold everything nicely for a flat folding seat. So sitting in the back seat now with the 2025 Lincoln Nautilus. So at 5'11", I sit here really nice. I love how large the panoramic roof is. Just gives you so much light let in here. So I have great headroom. Driver's seat at my height, tons of leg room and knee room. And with the recline, these go back a pretty good amount. For honestly, this will be a fantastic family crossover. This is really roomy back here. Seats are nice and comfortable. The leather material feels really nice and supple. And then you have just the gorgeous headliner. So honestly, this is a pretty nice family car. Moving on to the cargo space, you're gonna get a button right underneath here that you can press. We have the power liftgate, of course, that will pop open nicely. We have a really large cargo area. This is very squared off in here. You have a little bit of a cubby on the far left side, and there's even buttons right here that you can press to get these seats out of the way. So that's a great touch, of course, to make it nice and convenient. Of course, that really maximizes how much space you're gonna get in the back of this crossover. So for sure is a very roomy and practical car. I have our button up above. We can go ahead, start to close that. And then one last look through here. You're gonna see how nice and flat folding everything is with all this types of cargo space. And there's even still a ton of space up in front of these seats to make this very practical for cargo as well as people. All right, so setting off now in the 2025 Lincoln Nautilus Black Label. First time ever being in one of these. This is really cool to start off. The screen is actually pretty neat. I really don't mind it. You can easily mix and match stuff. It's not really difficult to do while driving, and it does give you kind of a heads-up display feeling, which is a pretty cool touch. So right now I'm just in the conserve drive mode, so kind of eco mode basically. Slowly getting up to speed. The steering wheel does take a little bit getting used to because it's kind of like a yoke where you really feel like you're just grabbing the sides of it. A little interesting grabbing the tops or bottom, but it's pretty cool. You know, it just gives you kind of a fancy feeling. Ride quality is really good. I didn't quite expect that. You know, I didn't know if this was just gonna be a dressed up Ford or, you know, is Lincoln making vehicles that are truly luxurious? Do they have the real aspects of what a luxury vehicle is gonna have? Which to me, it's ride quality. Ride quality is everything, especially if you're dropping almost $80,000 on a crossover. This is so quiet, as you can tell. It is very smooth. The ride quality is exceptional. These seats are also super comfortable, especially with all the funky maneuverability, you know, the leg rest and everything. That is just a really cool touch. But this is a great place to be. You have a really good view out of the windshield, and it's kind of neat how the screen is basically right at the windshield, so it feels like just a really good view out the front. The side mirrors do feel a little small, I would say. Over your left and right shoulder though, really can't complain. Very easy to see all around, and you just don't hear anything. It is ultra quiet. Slowly going around these turns. I mean, the steering weight is a little interesting, but it's kind of like smooth feeling. It feels really nice to steer this car, and it just feels luxurious. I am thoroughly impressed with the ride quality. And one thing that really impresses me is the fact that while this is only a 4-cylinder, which when you get into 4 cylinders, you know, sometimes you kind of cheapen the car's feeling because it just feels cheap. This doesn't have that. Slowly giving it some throttle, you don't really hear the engine. It's a more deep, quiet tone rather than a winded out 4-cylinder, which is definitely something you don't want when you're spending this kind of money. So let's go to Excite, which is basically the sport mode in this. Do a little acceleration as we turn around. But yeah, the steering has a cool feel to it. It just feels unique. It gives you something special. And you can see how funny the steering wheel looks as you turn around, just given it is that oval shape. I also like how this isn't that big of a vehicle, so it's easy to place and easy to pinpoint, and just kind of makes this a pretty easy to maneuver vehicle. And this interior just is a pleasant place to be. So getting up to speed with the 8-speed and all-wheel drive. I mean, it's not bad. That was just half throttle up to 50, not stressing anything, and it just works really well. And then using the cruise control and everything, you're gonna see how it pops up on the screen as we set it. Of course, we can adjust all of the different guidelines and everything. So I think overall it works pretty good. The cruise control seems to do well. Obviously I'm not on the highway, but the lane keeping works, the forward pacing and everything works pretty well. And you really do have what you need to see on the upper screens. And I like how you can still go into just the normal stuff if this, you know, might be intimidating in the beginning. But I think overall that does give you a pretty cool design. So my honest thoughts now with this 2025 Lincoln Nautilus. So just slowly getting up to 40 miles an hour. I like, for one, how the 4-cylinder doesn't feel like a 4-cylinder. It doesn't sound like it's winding out and sound cheap. That is a big thing, especially when you're dropping this kind of money with a car. Last thing you want is your car to just sound like a cheap, slow car. This has plenty of power. It feels effortless getting up to speed, and it sounds nice. It just kind of sounds normal. Ride quality is really impressive. It feels like a high-end luxury car. The steering wheel does take some getting used to, just this yoke design. It's a little odd. However, you know, I've been in this a couple miles now, starting to get a little bit familiar with it. So my wife and I over the weekend were grocery shopping, and we saw 2 of these at the store, and both of us were kind of jaw-dropped. I've never really seen the new Nautilus before, quite honestly. Lincoln hasn't really stood out to me much over the years. I'm very much more into the European luxury cars versus anything from America. But seeing this caught our eyes and we were like, wow, that is a cool looking SUV. And so a couple days later, here we are checking out the new Nautilus. And to be honest, I am impressed. If you are a European fan like myself and my wife, I mean, this is something to take into consideration. This drives really good. I don't think it drives any worse than anything from Europe. Honestly, this drives exceptionally good, not just for what it is, but this is a really good, strong competitor if you're looking for a nice, luxurious SUV. I also like the sizing. You know, it's not a big vehicle. It's easy to park, but it also has so much space on the interior. I am very blown away with how roomy this is. If you have a family, I mean, 2 kids in the back, not even going to be an issue. All your cargo in the back. I mean, this is a fantastic size product. Very, very nice. The tech all works good. The screen certainly is going to take some getting used to. It is unique, something I've never been in before. I think the Cadillac Escalade's like the only other car that really has this, maybe the newest Ford Expedition, I believe. So this is kind of, might be the new trend in modern luxury cars, having this fancy screen stuff. But it's cool. It does give you what you need. You can kind of barely have to glance down. It's basically like a surround view heads-up display. So it's kind of neat to use. I'm not the biggest person when it comes to tech. I use my Apple CarPlay and that's basically all I ever need. But this is nice. I am enjoying driving this vehicle with this fancy tech. So Lincoln's interior, the materials, I think also have been very impressive. Everything in this is something nice. There's really nothing cheap about the interior. It feels high quality. It feels luxurious. The leathers are very nice. I mean, there's really no sacrifices I'm finding with this for the price point and for what you're going to get. I would prefer, yes, not a 4-cylinder, but like I said, when you drive it, you kind of forget it and it just feels good overall. It's got the power, it's got the smoothness, it's got the quietness as well, which is all very important, and that's what you want when you're talking about an expensive luxury crossover. But driving it is nice. You know, the brakes are smooth. Everything about this just feels very comfortable. I would love to take this on a family trip up north. You know, 10 hours in this all day, I don't think I would ever complain. The seats are so comfortable. Everything is so nice in here. I am thoroughly impressed. This is one of the most impressive cars I have driven, I'd say, in a long time. I didn't quite know if this would just feel like a glorified Ford or if it would feel special. And to be honest, this feels special. This feels very nice. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content to come. And then check out Randy, Marion, Lincoln of Statesville. Big shout out to them for providing this car for today's video. Check out their website, linked down below. And I will see you guys in the next video.